I was thinking I would just talk about assertiveness for empathic people and people that are more on the sensitive side of things, who would find difficulty in creating boundaries and being assertive when they need to stand up for themselves. So one book that I recommend that helped me a lot is called Assertiveness for Earth Angels by Doreen Virtue. And you can still get this. I've seen it on Kindle, I think, and you can probably get a hard copy maybe at a bookstore, like a secondhand shop. That really covers everything you need to know from a perspective of someone who is sensitive to energy and less likely to want to cause trouble or avoid arguments, avoid conflict. But I feel like it's really important for us to learn how to speak up and say when things are not right, and when people are treating us how we don't like, to tell them to stop. So I wanted to say that today. Also, I wanted to talk about a completely different topic, which is what is lurking underneath the surface that we are not aware of in ourselves. So I'm going to talk in the context of a story, and that might be able to be helpful. So a few years ago, I realized that I was, sorry, that's my dog shaking, you can hear. I realized that I was giving advice to friends and workmates when I really should have just held back and directed it at my professional sessions. So that was a big wake up for me. I was like, I'm just going to direct all my energy that way. And if they want help, they can ask for it, but it's going to be in that format. And the reason I made this decision was that I could see the problems in people, or what was causing them to do repetitive things and do the same thing that was not helpful for them over and over again, creating positions where they were pretty much stuck and not getting ahead and not achieving what they wanted to achieve. And my advice to them, or my guidance to them that was coming from spirit, was not really reaching them, because they weren't booking a session and thinking I need help and etc. They were just, it just wasn't penetrating. Let me put it that way. So it was frustrating for me, because I had friends who would complain and whinge all the time, yet the perspective I was seeing was, if you just work on this and that within you, things will change. In the end, I got too frustrated with it, and I was like, I'm just not going to give them guidance anymore. But if they want to come to me eventually, that's cool. So one thing I remember from a Jordan Peterson video, and I've only probably watched one ever, he said that people will tell you what is wrong with them. And you'll just be having a normal conversation, and your friend will tell you exactly what is wrong with them, or what needs to be fixed, or what needs to be healed. And it's up to you to just listen to it and repeat it back to them and say, do you hear what you just said? So I had a conversation with a friend like that the other day, and I was hearing exactly what was going on that needed to be addressed, that has caused a lifetime of issues for this person. And if only they had paid attention to themselves 20 years ago and worked on this aspect of themselves, they probably would have avoided a lot of drama and conflict and achieved what they really wanted in life. So this is my my passion for helping others heal themselves, which I offer in sessions, is that I really want to guide them to find the inner truth so that they may get what they want. It's not, I don't want to be like tiptoeing around it and not tell them exactly what's happening. I don't see any point to that. So if you have a friend who is speaking to you about something, and you can hear exactly what they're saying, but they're not registering in their mind or heart what is the problem for them, yet they're actually verbalizing it, tell them. Just repeat the words straight back to them. It's not really like counseling, it's just reflecting it back and saying, did you hear what you just said? Maybe you could look at that. And then this is where boundaries come in and assertiveness. And this book, again, is that you can step out of the situation and let the friend take care of themselves. If they want to ask you for help later on, that's okay. You could choose to say yes or no, but you are not attached. And this is where it's important if you are an empathic person and you want to help people. You need to create a boundary so that you don't get too involved and attached to their well-being, whereas deflecting from your own. So that's an aspect of abandoning yourself. Okay, so that is one thing that empathic people need to, and highly sensitive people need to watch out for. Okay, so that's a lot of what I wanted to say in that. And I guess pointing back to this book, if you read this book over and over a few times, it's really going to get into you. And the reason I read this book many years ago, I was put in a situation when I was working in magazines where I had a boss. I had two bosses, and one was bullying me and the other one was protecting me. And it was a dream job. Like, the actual job I was doing was a dream job. However, the working situation was a nightmare, and it was the hardest thing for me to decide. It took like a year to decide this, to actually leave, because it was my dream job I'd been waiting for in magazines, yet I had very, very difficult people to deal with. So that was my lesson in assertiveness, and I had to learn it for a whole 2 years. And I had to learn to walk away from that situation because it simply was not going to change. So I couldn't control the other people, and I could only control my circumstances. So I decided to leave, which was, I think, the best thing for me in retrospect. I think it was a good decision.